Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land, where we take a gander at your top stories making headlines. And of course, we do it every Monday to Thursday right here. So before we head off to what will be a long weekend for Israelis as the start of Sunday night heralds Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, let's take a look at those top stories. Now, causing a lot of excitement in a good way is an interview that the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman had with Fox News last night. In his interview, the Crown Prince said that ties or normalization between Israel and Saudi Arabia are getting closer. He says, every day we get a little closer. And he said that this is regardless of which government is in power in Israel. Now, we have been covering this quite intensely as it gains momentum, and we have been discussing what kind of concessions, if any, the Saudis would expect from Israel. They have been very vocal that they believe that the only solution to the ongoing conflict between Israel and her Palestinian neighbors is a Palestinian state. Meanwhile, speaking to the Wall Street Journal, it has been reported that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has given the go-ahead for Saudi to enrich uranium. And speaking during the Fox interview last night, the Crown Prince said that if Iran had to gain a nuclear weapon, he said, so do we. Now, this is despite opposition from Israel's opposition parties. However, it has been stressed that should the Saudis be given permission to enrich uranium, Israel would request many security measures to be put in place. So it's gaining momentum. We heard President Biden during his UNGA speech allude to it. We are expecting that when Prime Minister Netanyahu takes the podium at the UNGA, which is expected to be tomorrow, that he will also address the possibility of normalization with the Saudis. One thing is for sure, it will totally transform the Middle East as we know it. Now, staying at the UNGA, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu finally met with President Biden on the sidelines of the UNGA yesterday. The Prime Minister reassured the American president that he will not change or alter Israel's democracy in any way. He said Israel has been and always will be a democracy. This follows concerns from the Biden administration about the proposed judicial overhauls and the impact that it could have on Israel's robust democracy. The Prime Minister also lauded President Biden's leadership in helping to promote possible normalization between Israel and Saudi Arabia and thanked the US President for his resolute support in ensuring that Iran does not become nuclear. President Biden also hinted that there is a possibility that the Prime Minister could be invited to the White House before the end of the year. This has been a real sticking point for Prime Minister Netanyahu. This is the longest that an Israeli sitting Prime Minister has waited for that very, very important invitation to meet with a sitting US President at the White House. And staying again on the sidelines of the UNGA, Israel's Foreign Minister Eli Cohen met with his Emirati counterpart Abdullah bin Zayed. The two discussed the Abraham Accords, now celebrating 3 years of prosperous ties between Israel and the United Arab Emirates, and not forgetting our other partners, Bahrain and Morocco. The Emirati Foreign Minister invited his Israeli counterpart to attend the COP28 confab. This is the big climate conference taking place in Dubai. However, there has been some controversy. The UAE is reported to have excluded National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir and Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich, both whom represent the far-right extreme of the sitting coalition, from a joint Emirati-Israeli cultural endeavor. The week-long joint endeavor of cooperation called 7-7, which sees cultural events taking place in 7 cities across the United Arab Emirates and Israel, is currently ongoing. And finally, on Sunday night at sunset, we herald in Yom Kippur. This is the Day of Atonement, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar. As the sun sets, Israel will come to a complete standstill. There will be no cars on the road, nothing happening. Internet, or rather television, will shut down. Internet will still be operational, and all you will hear are the sounds of children out in the streets and on the highways where it's totally safe. And Israelis will take to the synagogues and also observe a 25-hour fast. Now, it is expected that this could be a increased time of security threat, and Israeli police have appealed to those who are licensed firearm carriers, please to do so. Please also note that there will be no Israel brief on Monday as we observe Yom Kippur. We will return on a Tuesday as normal, and all that remains for me is to wish you a safe and a meaningful fast. Gemar Chatima Tova. May we all be written in the book of life and for a healthy and a good year. Now, if you're looking for some reading material this weekend, look no further than our website at www.layoftheland.online. Whatever your interest, whether it's climate, environment, culture, politics, history, we've got you covered. We've got them all archived there for your enjoyment. Our Facebook page is at Lottel Site. Come on, wish us Shabbat Shalom. We love it when you do. We're also on YouTube. I almost forgot for a second there. Our channel is at the Israel Brief, and if you like our content, please help us gain more exposure by clicking on the red subscribe button. And we are on X. I keep wanting to call it Twitter, but it's called X, and you can find us at Lay of the Land 5. I'm Rolene Marks. This has been the Israel Brief. We want to wish you a wonderful weekend. Shabbat Shalom, Gemar Chatima Tova, and we will see you on Tuesday. Take care.